back to the channel. This video is going to be kind of split up into a little bit of chaos as well, but I'm trying to film 2 videos at one time, waiting on parts on the fuel stuff. So figured might as well go ahead and take up some time and work on the front radiator and all of the cooling stuff. So I don't think I'll get to plumbing it in this video. I just want to get things mounted and see how it's going to look, and then maybe grab the front bumper cover, stick it on, and make sure everything's going to fit. But I got the radiator back, and I got the fan shroud made. Definitely not by me, but I think this is going to work out really well. Got a derail fan on here, 17-inch, like 2400 CFMs. This is going to keep this 6-liter pretty cool. It's gonna be good. It's gonna do a good job. So anyway, I got this. I got to mount up back in here, and I'm gonna put some rib nuts in that aluminum to help hold the fan on it versus to pull through things. I've also got to mount up these 2 little guys. I got 2 of them. The little fan on the back, I'm gonna designate the silver one to be engine oil cooler. Then I got a black one for transmission cooler. Just trying to keep things a little bit separate. But anyway, these are going to go in the factory oil cooler locations, something about like this right here. I've got a little bit of an issue with getting them flat against there. I'll show you that later. But anyway, yeah, so I'm going to get started on this stuff, get the rib nuts in there, get that fan mounted in, and then make sure that it all still works within this radiator support and structure that I made, and I've got enough clearance. Everything should line out just right, but, well, I've had to redo things before, so I'll let the time lapse start, get some music going, and I'll see you guys in a few minutes. So, put the radiator in, and the new shroud actually comes out further than this, so the radiator won't sit all the way down. So this is just super simple. I'm going to lop off right here and right there and take out that little square and leave the rest, and it should be sitting real nice. And then I've got actual rubber padding I'm going to put down, kind of help with some vibration again against the steel and aluminum, just like I found some stuff for this right here. So get to cutting, get this thing to fit. I think it's going to work out perfect. Alright guys, so this is in its final place. I just got to pull it out to put the rubber stuff in it, but I'll show you why I had to cut it out. You can kind of see, kind of self-explanatory in that part, but fits really well. and I'm super happy about it. The only thing I'm going to struggle with, I think, is the fact that this neck is more likely going to have to come out of here every time I got to pull the radiator. So it's a good thing it's a screw-in type. But the way it's got to drop down and in to fit in all of the spots. If I can get it started. This is going to work out real nice. Super excited about it. Something finally coming together here. It's nice and level. The car isn't really level. I don't know if you can tell because that back tire went down, but it goes down all the time. But yeah, I think it looks nice. I'm gonna go back in with the pick and fix all those fins, but I mean, haphazardly fabbing with it, I was gonna eventually mess up a few of those. So anyway, got this done. We'll put the rubber pieces in there, maybe trim off a little right in through here, just so that it's not rubbing. It kind of is kind of a gap. There's definitely a gap over here, and it's not going to come over and hit this, but you know, it won't take 5 seconds to bust that off there with a little grinder action. So now I'm super happy with the way it turned out. So moving on to the next thing. Alright guys, so I spent some time working this out, trying to make it as simple as possible, but yet get the job done. I think I may have come on to something. So I got to keep the oil cooler up as high as I can get it, right? So don't scratch ground, fittings take up space as well, you know, all that stuff. So I think I may have come up with something. So this is the bracket that it came with, and I was like, man, I got to make something work off of this. So up here wouldn't work very well. Not enough really to mount to all this stuff, but by God, if I could get right here, then things start to look up. And then I realized there's a flat spot there and a small bend over here. Then you know what? I could possibly do just a little bit of something to make it work. So I actually got this fit in here, and then I can shove this in, and I still have a whole lot of strength in this whole deal here. So I'm gonna put some more riv nuts in and make this so it can unbolt, and then probably for now just zip tie this cooler up, make sure it's all gonna fit correctly before I do anything more permanent. But I also am gonna have to copy this piece because I don't have one of these. I'm gonna have to copy this piece for that over there, but the inverted of this. So, and this is also, I think, gonna cut out a corner there, because it looks like the corner of this right here might actually come in to play with the bumper cover. So anyway, yeah, I'm super stoked. I'm gonna get this bolted in and see what it looks like. Alright, so yeah, it is a little lower than I would like, but I think this is going to work out pretty well as long as the tire doesn't come in too close to contact with the fan on the backside and stuff like that. So with these tires, I don't know, the skinnies in the front, I'm not sure how they'll fit. It is what it is. So I can adjust and make some things happen later to accommodate that, but I think this right here is where it's going to have to stay. So, like I said, I got these zip tied on there for now, but because I didn't want to get too carried away. Now, I'm only down about 1.5 inches from where I wanted, so that down here is probably a big deal. The lines are going to come down off of these and then go this way. but being able to run those, and I think I'm going to run, this is actually going to end up being the transmission cooler, because the lines are on this side of the car. Oil cooler will be on that side. But anyway, I've got a lot of clearance, I do believe. It's just that this part of the tire here swings around. I mean, this is the reason why I didn't want to mount it completely. I can come up with something from here. I can even come off of this back here and create a little bracket for the bottom and poke these out. And just, it gives me a lot of room back there to play with. So these things will be protected, but at the end of the day, I think this is going to work out well. I can even, if I'm desperate, slide this thing just completely over and then maybe come over to here, and then it would sit like this more. I just don't think it's quite necessary. So I'm going to take this all off and take that bracket and try to copy that bracket onto another piece of aluminum and mirror it for that side. So we'll go from there. Alright guys, so I got everything mounted up pretty much permanently now, except it's all going to have to come back out. Well, the oil coolers ain't going to have to come back out, but the engine's going to have to come back out, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So, made this up, right, and got this permanently mounted in, bolts are in, good to go. I put just a tiny bit of Loctite on these here just to make sure that they're not going to come undone. Might still come up with a support structure off of here to here, just to give it a little bit of something, but also I need to find out like how much I need to pull on this or do whatever. I do need to drill out this little bit of this hole right here for the inner fender well, and over here same thing, a little bit of Loctite. This hole is actually clearing, so I was off on my measurements just a little bit, but I think it'll be fine. Still need to grind this out here, but essentially this stuff's all in and looking good. So now I had a guy come over and we went through some stuff that needs to be fabbed up and stuff. I was gonna come up with, like, I think earlier in the video I said something about coming up with like a catch can, or like a little, not catch can, a little pan or something underneath the fittings that I could put a little bit of pig mat in just in case some oil was to start to leak or something like that and we didn't catch it right away. Whatever. I needed her to be safe while she was driving this thing. So then the question come up with, like, are you going to run an engine diaper or stuff like that? And I said no, but I wanted to maybe make a pan to catch all this stuff in. So he suggested maybe once we get the bumper on, we can get some measurements, but looking at putting a pan across here through over to here and not coming out any further than basically this line right here, just right around this line right here, and that will hold all that stuff up. Also, that gives some support to the air dam, air coming underneath the car, and then we could even support these here, these things here with that as well. So build like little stands off the bottom of it, and we can make it to where they just slide in or latch in something so that it's also helping with all that. So anyway, I think it turned out well. It should, because the car came with stuff there anyway. But the reason why the motor's got to come back out is because I got to address this part right here. Yeah, it broke the engine coolant temperature sensor, but that one's an old one anyway. But they've got right here, is these pinch welds, and I need headers to clear right there, and I also would just like a little bit more room back by the actual head is touching, so I want to get that cleaned up. Over here I got to cut this out here that used to hold the ABS module and just clean it up so it's easier to do spark plugs and stuff. I don't know if that's going to like help us out by taking a big hammer and just folding that pinch weld over. If that might, you know, aid in giving us loads of more room, but at this point I'm really down for whatever, because I need this thing to be as maintenance capable as possible. If I need to put new plugs in it right away, I can. If we got to pull the heads off of it because we dropped a retainer off or valve spring messed up, something, I just want it to be easy to work on at the track, so that, again, she's not as interested. She is interested, but she's not as interested in this as I am. And I kind of want this whole racing thing to be as much of a positive experience for her as, you know, it is for me, because I enjoy the grand scope of it. She might not enjoy the breaking down and having to fix stuff part. So anyway, finally I got my fuel stuff in, setting over there for that. So I'm going to continue that video tomorrow, so you'll see me wearing different clothes in all these different videos, but just trying to get stuff done where and when I can get stuff done. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Please, if you haven't subscribed, please do. It's going to help us out later, and when the content gets down to the racing stuff, that's going to be a lot more fun to watch. She's never really raced before, so it's going to be a learning experience for her. We'll have all that stuff filmed. I want you guys to see it. So you guys come back next time when we'll be finishing up the fuel system. See you guys.